Would you rather have Stetson Bennett or Anthony Richardson as your quarterback in the SEC or in college football in general? ESPN's Bomani Jones gave his take on that on his podcast, and I don't know about it. I don't know about what he had to say about the two quarterbacks. I'll go ahead and read the quote right here, right away. You would like to have a quarterback, he's talking about Georgia. You would like to have a better quarterback. I don't care how inconsistent he may be. I would rather have Anthony Richardson than Stetson Bennett. No. I would not rather have Anthony Richardson than Stetson Bennett at quarterback. Inconsistent. So now you're calling Anthony Richardson consistent? Do you watch the Florida Gators play football, and do you watch the Georgia Bulldogs play football? Here's my ultimate preface before I really dive into the numbers. My ultimate preface. I understand that Stetson Bennett's supporting cast and defense is better than Anthony Richardson's. I get it. I'm taking that into account as well. But you know what my favorite part about it is? When they posted it, and I'm just going to show you. When they posted it, they put a picture of Stetson Bennett, when he won the national championship as Georgia's quarterback. So you'd rather have Anthony Richardson than Stetson Bennett, Bomani Jones. I don't have anything against you, Bomani Jones, but let's look at some numbers. But before that, make sure you're checking out DAWGSTRUCTION. Links down below. You can buy that at the Red Zone in Athens, or with the link down below, the insider book of Georgia's national championship season last year. Ryan Curley from Dog Post here, talking about Stetson Bennett, Anthony Richardson, and Bomani Jones. All right, Anthony Richardson this year, 73 for 131. He's got a QBR of 61.4. His completion percentage is 55.7. All right, Stetson. He's got a 69.5 completion percentage. He's 116 for 167. Stetson's thrown more. Stetson's got a higher QBR. Stetson's got a higher quarterback rating. Okay? Well, what does Anthony Richardson do better than Stetson Bennett? He runs really well. Anthony Richardson, 5 rushing touchdowns on 42 attempts. Stetson Bennett, 4 rushing touchdowns on 18 attempts. Anthony Richardson, 4 touchdowns compared to 6 interceptions. Stetson Bennett, 5 touchdowns compared to 1 interception, and that's on more attempts. He's thrown 36 more times, and he has 4 less interceptions. 5 less interceptions, my bad. So Anthony Richardson's more consistent than Stetson Bennett. The Dogs are 5-0. Stetson Bennett helped lead Georgia to what is considered a comeback victory in the national championship less than a calendar year ago. Georgia's 5-0. Florida's 3-2. Anthony Richardson throws some really bad interceptions. It's not just that he throws interceptions, but he throws some poor ones. Stetson Bennett had an interception problem in the past. In this year, he hasn't. That can change, but he hasn't to date. In 2022, had an interception issue. He's more accurate. He makes better decisions. He runs effectively as well. He throws more touchdowns and less interceptions. He has a higher QB rating. He helps them win games more. He led Florida did, Anthony Richardson couldn't lead the Gators to a comeback victory over Tennessee. I know Tennessee's better than Missouri, but Stetson Bennett, when it mattered the most, played really well in the second half of the Missouri game and helped them lead them to 2 touchdown drives. So I haven't seen any piece of football, any play. I've watched a lot of Florida. I've watched a lot of Georgia, obviously. There's not a single thing that tells me I would rather have Anthony Richardson than Stetson Bennett. And I know, I've been notorious for not understanding the hype around Anthony Richardson. Oh, he's baby Cam. Oh, he's just as good as these guys. He's going to be a great pro prospect. Bro, 55% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Look, Cam Newton's Auburn team was not great. It wasn't that good. And he won the Heisman and he won a national championship. So I don't want to hear it anymore that Anthony Richardson is similar to Cam Newton. Let's look at Cam Newton's numbers. His Heisman year. I know that's a tall task to compare him to the 2010 Heisman winner. Auburn stats. But let's do it real quick. Completion percentage, 66%. much better. 30 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. So in a whole season, Cam Newton threw 7 interceptions, and in 5 games, Anthony Richardson's thrown 6. Bomani Jones. What do you mean you would rather have a more consistent quarterback like Anthony Richardson? Because he's just not that, okay? There are better quarterbacks in college football, and there are better quarterbacks in the SEC than Stetson Bennett. I'm not saying Stetson Bennett's the best quarterback in the country, and maybe he's not even the top 3 or top 5. But Anthony Richardson isn't, and he's definitely not more consistent. He's definitely not a better passer. He's definitely not more accurate. He definitely doesn't make better decisions. The best thing about Anthony Richardson is his ability to run physically and fast, and to run effectively. Stetson Bennett also runs effectively. He doesn't run the same way that Anthony Richardson does, but Stetson does run the ball effectively, and he has 1 less rushing touchdown than Anthony Richardson. So I think Stetson Bennett has been a little inconsistent this year. I'm not saying that there's been some inconsistencies, but I tell you what, I think he's definitely better than he was last year, and I don't see Anthony Richardson being that much better than he was last year. Stetson's made a bigger jump than Richardson has. So I'd love to know, Bomani Jones, why do you really think that? If you happen to come across this video. If you came across this video, make sure you're checking out DAWGSTRUCTION. Link down below. You can buy that at the Red Zone as well. Make sure you're going to all of our social links at Dog Post in some form or fashion. See you there.